Hello, and welcome back to the Basic Beat podcast. I'm your host and favorite SEO coach, Brittany Herzberg. Well, at least I think I'm a favorite SEO coach, but today we're really going to find out because I have one of the newest graduates of SEO Grow with me. Her name is Dalene. Dalene, say hi.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. And yes, you are my favorite SEO coach.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
It's funny because I was like, I always say that, but gosh, I really hope I am someone's favorite.
Yes.
We still technically haven't ended this round of the coaching program. We've still got like a week plus another like guest expert call left, which I'm like really grateful about because saying goodbye and ending these things is always like my least favorite part.
Yeah.
Tell us, because this is definitely going to come up with your story, but like share what you do or what you're going by now with, how you help people in the world.
Yeah. So I am a money coach and retirement strategist. So I help women and couples over 40 build a solid financial foundation so they can make their financial dreams a reality. I know people like struggle with the word retirement and they think it's like the end. It looks like just like this. So I've kind of segued to financial dreams because really it's just that next phase of life and what do you want it to look like and feel like. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs and even other individuals that freedom is so important, being able to do what they want. And that's really what I help individuals do, and explore as far as like with retirement.
Mm-hmm.
I am retired. I retired at 50, 32 years, punching the clock, doing the thing. So I decided after I reached my financial dream to help others because it was such a great feeling. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did it, And so that was why I came into the space. And, really, as far as retiring at 50, it's like, what are you going to do? What do you want life to be like? And so I'm like, you know what? This will fill up some time. And I've learned and I've grown and I've met some amazing, wonderful people. And so that's what I kind of like tell people, like, that is what retirement's about. I had a great 32 years. I worked with a lot of wonderful people. And, but stepping into something new and pushing yourself and challenging yourself is so much fun.
Yeah, including learning SEO.
Yes.
But I am curious. I know it was with numbers, but what did you spend your time doing in those 32 years?
So the last 15, I was a budget manager. And up until then, I held a lot of different support personnel positions with law enforcement. So my 32 years was in law enforcement, but I wasn't a dispatcher. I wasn't a cop. I was secretary, and then I was a crime analyst. So there was numbers there. Yep. I did a 4-year kind of step out to finance. So boring. I had to come back to the realm of law enforcement because it's always going. And so my last 15 years, I taught cops how to budget.
That is really special, unique, and very wild.
Yes. It was a lot of fun.
That is so cool. You don't really think of something like that, especially when it comes to law enforcement. Like you just think of like you said, the calls that are coming in and the scenes that they're going out to. That is really interesting. I'm so glad I asked.
Yeah.
I am curious. Do you even remember like how long you've been in my world or how we first met and connected? Any of that?
Yeah. So March of last year, I believe it was.
She's got a month.
I know. I was prepared. I was like, she's probably going to ask me about this. So, but I also like to document like how long has this amazing person been in my life? So March, I was in a podcasters group on Facebook, and just scrolling, and it was like SEO for your podcast, and somebody mentioned you. And they're like, here's the link. Go check out this is the little course. So I downloaded your course, started into that. May, you did an invite just to like the first meeting of what was SEO and Grow back then as you were starting it out. So then I got immersed a bit more. And so I'm still dabbling in it, using it on my podcast. And then by October, I'm like, I have got to go full into this and bring it into my website, make sure I'm doing what I need to be doing on my podcast. So almost a year.
That is nuts. I kind of forgot that I invited people in for that first week last year.
Yes.
Clearly, that was a good idea that I had.
Yes.
So you started with podcast SEO. What made you go, all right, I need to just like go all in, website and everything?
My podcast has done well, even from the get-go. And I'm like, but I need my website because that's really where I want people to know what I do. And here's all my services and here's how I help, which I share that on the podcast. But I am a visual person as far as like reading words. And it's like, okay, listen to something, but I want to go get the tangible. And so I'm like, I've got to go over there, get my website going. So I'm like, as I'm building it, I'm like, well, I want other people to find this. How do I build the strength of this, right? So like I do financial foundations, you do SEO foundations, and it just fit into the website. So I'm like, okay, those are my two big pieces for attracting leads. And so I'm like, I have to go all in.
Oh, that's so cool. Did you have any context of what SEO was before you got in my world?
The understanding I had was like, oh, it's the words you type into Google. But it
Mhm.
was like very, very faint, general, just like, okay, it's what people search for. That was it. I never had thought of it. Now, when I go to search in Google and I'm like typing because I'm very much well, this is my problem and this is what I'm thinking and this is what I do. I'm like, I've used Google like you use ChatGPT for years. And I'm like, oh man, what would Brittany think of this term? you know? It's crazy how SEO now has popped up to be in like every thought almost of, I'm going to go search. Well, how do I search that? Oh, well, I got to use all the words that I want. And hopefully people have put them on, so like I'm following the trail now. I'm like, I hope somebody's put it on their website so that I can find what they've given me.
Isn't it so funny how you start to, I remember last round, there was someone who was listing something for sale on eBay. And even she said, I'm being so specific with how I'm listing this on eBay. She's like, SEO is everywhere now.
Yes, it like kind of consumes, but in a good way. So
Mhm.
all I had to do, I'm like, oh, okay, I got to make a landing page for my freebie. Oh, I got to pull up that document that Brittany has us fill out. Yep. Is it filled out? Nope, it's not. I got to fill it out, and it's like, but I have loved having that to then support the landing page. I remember creating landing pages on the fly. Well, what am I going to say? Who's it, speaking to and like really no process. And I really think that SEO has given me that process for new landing pages, for new freebies, for, the new things like that. It's like, oh, okay. All right. So yeah, it's been really wonderful.
I love that. I remember in one of the coaching calls, or maybe a couple of the coaching calls, you were even saying like it feels like this equation that you get to follow.
Yes. Analytical brain here, like that is stronger than my creativity. It's like share with me and then I can be creative about it. So yeah, the pieces came together. I mean, I was a crime analyst for about 5 years, and that's the same thought context of putting pieces together. And so once you introduced and like made more sense of it to me of all the pieces and the working parts, because I know I came with some kind of crazy question sometimes, but it was almost like I needed to analytically get it fitting in my brain and be like, okay, so if I do this and I put it here and it speaks to the people like this, and then they're thinking this, it just became an equation of like my end, almost like the telephone with the cans,
Yes.
it's like, okay, I'm making the string, it's me and somebody else, and I'm making the string actually connect, but I'm doing it in the right pieces.
I love that visual. Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the questions that you brought? Because nothing's coming to mind, although like I never felt like they were crazy or weird or.
I think it was about the pieces in the content on the page and how they related to the pieces of the SEO behind, right? And it was like how those kind of came to be. I think that's what it was, understanding like the H1s, the H2s, the H3s, because you're such a proponent or a promoter of the image titles and optimizing those, right? And it's like, okay, how does all of that work? I know the last one was because I was I wasn't finally, I was showing up for financial coach near me. And you're like, well, yeah, they've done a local search and you've popped up. And then I'm like, I thought about it more and I'm like, oh, it's on one of my images. So, I think that, and you're like, well, it's also your Google business profile. I'm like, okay, so like all of these pieces and how you end up talking about the bots are looking at everything. And that just made more sense too. So.
Yeah, they really, especially now with AI and everything, they really are like, okay, what's your entire digital footprint? Does it make sense? And they're analyzing that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, this Instagram profile, this podcast, this website, this is all Dalene. Here's what she does. And they're making sense of it pretty quickly. And depending on how well you've organized it and programmed it almost is how well it's going to work for you and like how aligned those potential leads are that come in, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could imagine for someone listening, they're like, this still sounds like a big monster of a project. Once you got in the program, did it feel like things were dripped out or did you feel like it was a fire hose and here's a bunch of information?
No, it was stripped out really well. It's like, okay, do this little piece. Well, I was in a time of my life where I needed something to consume my brain.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, give me more, give me more, give me more. But it was really just the pieces. And then life kind of settled and I was like, okay, I'm going to kind of let this simmer. And then it was like, okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. So no, it was really good. Very bite size, very digestible because I had pulled up my initial keyword list that I sent to you and you're like, this is great. It will make more sense in the next step. And I'm like, I don't remember that comment was there. And I'm like, oh, and it did, and it was like, okay, here's the list of almost like brain dump, right? In a way.
Yeah.
And then, the resources that you have in the, coaching is so helpful. In fact,
good.
I've made them for like other parts of my business just because I love the structure and I'm a very, I told you, analytical and structured and a planner and all of the things. But it's like, okay, then going into the first piece and then delving that out into the next pieces. And then even once you go into blogs, that's another piece. And it's just layer by layer. But yeah, you do it so well. It's like, okay, here's all your keywords. You've kind of like brain dumped them from your 3 questions. I don't know if these listeners know them, but hopefully they do. And then you kind of make sense of them from that. But the other thing that I loved was I really am owning who I am as far as like my title, right? It's like, I know what I do. I know kind of what I want to call myself. Coming into it, it was like, no, I am this piece because this is what people are looking for. This is also what I want to be called because I think that's important too. And that's where you get those keyword ideas anyways. But it's like, no, I am a money coach and retirement strategist.
Hold up. Did you just say you'll get to SEO next year? There is no way I heard that coming out of your mouth. Except that's exactly what I heard in my DMs this week. And I will not stand for it. If you wait a whole year to do SEO, you're literally giving up thousands of dollars. And I have receipts. When Leah implemented a new SEO strategy, she had 10 new leads discover her on Google in just 6 weeks. When Courtney implemented SEO on her site for the first time ever, she got consistent paying clients from Google while she was out sick, not posting on social media for 3 straight months. And when Ellie finally optimized her site for SEO, she had an 85% increase in traffic to her site the very same month. When people lean into the SEO and Grow method, they, grow their businesses often faster than they thought possible. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. SEO does not have to be complicated or costly or confusing. There are basic things you need to learn about and actually do, and best practices you need to follow. And I have bundled everything you need to succeed with SEO into the SEO Basics course, which you can get for $10 off when you use code podcast10. Don't overthink this. It's time you get discovered with ease. Go to BrittanyHerzberg.com and go over to the SEO shop, or you can click the link below to grab the SEO Basics course and use code podcast10 for $10 off your purchase. That is so cool. Okay, no one can see this because I'm like cheering over here just on the video. But that is one thing that makes me so happy to hear, because I was even sharing on Instagram this week. I offered the blogging workshop people, anyone who wasn't already a Done For You client or in SEO and Grow, I offered them free versions of my homepage mini audit. So I'm looking at their traffic, looking at their keywords, asking them the 3 questions, going and doing keyword research for them, and putting together a 3-part SEO strategy for them for their homepage. So they can get a sense of like, where am I at right now? How does this SEO thing work? Oh, okay, I see how you did that. And then they can plug it in and hopefully have some success with getting some traction just from their homepage. But one thing I'm noticing is that there is a group of people who are coming in and they're like very clear on, this is who I am, this is what I do. And then there's other ones who are like, I don't know, I'd like to be doing this, but I'm pretty sure no one's looking for it. That is my favorite because I get to prove them wrong.
Yes.
I would say 9.5 times out of 10.
Yes.
It's like, actually, people are looking for it. So do you want to go all in with this? And it gives them that confidence.
Yes.
And so you kind of had that unfold for you because from what I remember, you put together your website SEO strategy really early, within like the first 3 weeks or something.
Yes.
And then just in the last coaching call, you're like, hey, so we're changing this. And I feel confident going through even the resources to redo this. So will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So when I came in, I was focused on retirement planning, which is what I do, but it was getting convoluted with financial advisors, financial planners, and also the step that people were taking. And it wasn't just SEO, but it was also all of the other pieces I had going on at the same time. And so I'm like, okay, I'm too close to the end result, or it's not the desire I want, because I'm really helping people make their money do amazing things. That's really where I wanted to be. And so I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And, a few thoughts pop in my mind. And I'm like, well, it's financial foundations. Is that being searched? Yeah, it is. And so, so then you're able to explore. And so even though I'm still calling myself a retirement strategist, well, that was a search. That was like, okay, just kind of taking that slight shift, because I still want to help people with retirement and making sure they can get there. But that financial foundation piece is where I do a lot of my work. And so being able to take what I had, not really ditch it, but take a pivot, right? That's what everybody does in business, is they take pivots along the way. And I was like, okay, well, all right, this I can keep. These others I need to get rid of. But what other keywords do I need? And quickly I found them. But also what I had plugged in was also starting to show up for things, right? So that's where financial confidence came in, and, some of those terms. So it's like, keep those terms that didn't fit under either one specifically. They were just more general. So it's like being able to redo the entire thing again in probably, I would say, a week, no longer than a week, and just readjust. I did the quick keyword ones and then the more aligned ones for all the pages. Of course, web copy takes a little bit longer, but the SEO is all there. And then going to that into the copy and be like, well, that kicks you off. And then you're like, okay, well, if I just speak to these 3 things on this, this is what I'm doing. It just is so helpful. It provides the foundation.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. I had an SEO foundations program. I called it a mentorship, and it was more like 6 weeks where we met for calls. And I really sat with that toward the end of last year, coming into this year. And I was like, is that something that I still want to offer? And I've decided not to, at least for right now, because to me, it just makes more sense. Like, this is what I want you doing. I want you coming into SEO and Grow. And we've kind of shared bits and pieces, but just to tie it all together for anyone listening, there are 3 phases of SEO the way that I approach it. So we've got phase 1 is understanding SEO. We do that in the program, but I would say it's kind of like a pretty quick blip on the radar. We're learning what keywords are, how to find them, how to find the good ones. If you haven't identified it already, you are answering the who do you help, how do you help them, what do you want to be known for questions, and really seeing how those answers do relate to the keywords and can help you get found. And then after, I would say a week or 2, does that feel about accurate? Like a week or 2 of the phase 1?
Yep.
Then we get into phase 2, which is where we pretty much hang out 90% of the time.
Yes.
And that's the implementing SEO. So that's where Dalene is sharing, she had this brain dump of keywords just because I want you to go and play and find some things and get your feet wet and just understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Then once we get into that, I've started to call it the Bible over in SEO and Grow.
Yes.
It's the phase 2 resource. And it's the thing Dalene is saying she's going back to. And that's where you take your keyword research brain dump, and then you actually map out the pages of your website. And I've even had a lot of people go, oh, I've got too many service pages. I actually only need 3 and I have 6. So it helps you even from that perspective of what are those core website pages? And then you're sharing, you get to have the focus or the target keywords for each of those pages. And then you fill in those tables, the SEO titles, the meta descriptions, all the things. And then phase 3, which you have started to get into. And I would even say you were entering phase 3 when you were finding the data, finding those keywords, and having that aha moment of oh, I actually do need to make a pivot because this isn't exactly where I want to be. Yep. So phase 3 is maintenance. Yep. And that's where you really are looking at the data, looking at the keywords that your website is showing up for, and really making decisions based on that. Am I happy with the keywords that I've chosen? Do I want to renegotiate those a little bit? Am I happy with the other marketing activities I have if I have anything else? If not, let me look at that time, money, whatever other resources you're spending on those. And then you really do get to, I would say phase 3 is more you're coasting. That's where you feel the sustainable part of the marketing. Yeah. Do you feel like that's true?
Yeah. And, it's phase 3, well, because 1 and 2 went so quickly for me and then I redid them again. I want phase 3 to go quickly, but that's not any of my control. That's time. I've done everything I need to. And I remember on the last call and with several of us in there, and you're like, you got to give it 3 months or so, which is typically what any marketing tool is, right? It's about 3 months. But yet, I mean, there's pieces I've seen quickly that I can do something with now. So it's not, you're in coast mode, which is definitely, you've done the heavy lifting. You've done a lot of the brain work and, getting it entered on, and now you just let it be. And then you can go support their business the other ways and then come back and enhance it with the actually maintain phase of this. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. So you've got your website, you have your podcast, you have the blog too, right? Yeah, you do. Because I remember you had just moved websites, right? You
Yes.
changed website hosts.
Yep.
I'm making all these noises because she had to re-upload them, right?
Yes. Yeah. Manual. But I did. So I was like, okay, I really don't want to do this because I have 170 episodes. However, I took advantage of the optimization. So instead of already having it there and going back, I was just doing it as I went along. So it was taking a little bit longer, but it was like, no, this is actually optimized now for who I serve and what I do. So that was really good.
Are there any things that you're looking forward to now that you are more so into the phase 3, again?
Just really hoping to see what people are actually searching for and hitting on, and then being able to serve them better. Because that's the thing, right? It's the disconnect of, well, this is what I think they need. And so then you go do it. I think SEO helps with that, because market research for people to talk to me about money is really difficult. And I understand that. So I feel like SEO definitely closes that gap for me in a whole new way. And so being able to get more familiar with what people are searching and thinking, and then what they're finding and what I've delivered, is it helpful? You can see that in the maintain and running all those reports and looking at all of that data and then going, okay, keep going this way or slight shift this way. So yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. Like I said, we haven't technically ended yet, but do you have any wins? I mean, I would consider the awareness of the slight messaging shift to be a huge win, but are there any others?
Yeah, honestly, seeing people search for financial confidence coaching, I'd say that's a win, because I was like, I can't market confidence, right? It's just, but that's what people are searching for. That's what they want. I can market it. So, that win that way is doing that. And then searching for somebody near me, and it's oh, somebody wants to work with me, because I've worked with people, internationally too. So it's not just US. And I'm like, oh, somebody local wants me. It's just that, I don't know. It's so weird to think, oh, somebody down the street, not that they would be that close, but it's in my neck of the woods. So yeah, that win, it's just been so crazy to see. And then understanding how to take that and make an actual blog post to explain more my positioning, give my authority under that umbrella of what people are looking for.
Yeah. Is it more motivating to actually share your opinions? Because I feel like that's something that I see.
Yes, for sure. So, in conjunction with a different training I did for a whole completely different thing. And we talked about, that point of view. And I've always heard you've got to be bold and stuff. It's now you see people are searching for something. Yeah, I am okay, they want an opinion or they want information, which information is my opinion. So however I deliver that. So yeah, it definitely is a confidence booster. It's that declaration of, this is who I am, because yes, people are searching for me and need me. And, oh, they need to know more about this. They found me talking about it, but, oh, okay, I need to share XYZ about it now. And so it just supports, content, being able to talk about it, being able to share your opinions, your bold point of views, which I know I shared one of those, what I'm going to do. But, it's just it's just so empowering.
Oh, I love hearing that word. Is there anything that you would share with someone who's kind of flirting with the idea of diving into SEO?
If you're I don't know, you do it. Just do it. Because I told Brittany before we got on the call how wonderful of a space she holds for all of us. And, everybody else makes the difference too, but Brittany is able to make it cohesive, inviting, understand. I am not missing this. I'm watching this on a replay. I have to have the full live effect. She's amazing. She's wonderful. And then just, if you're worried, I'm not sure this is what people want, or I'm not sure if that's what I should call myself, and you're sitting there on the fence of, would SEO help me? Yeah, that's a big fat yes for me. Yeah, it just solidifies everything I've been questioning for like the last year and a half. I'm like, oh, no, this helps. And even with that shift, I'm like, okay, it's a slight shift. I'm not changing anything I'm doing. It's actually the lingo. And so I don't change anything internally. It just is the outward. So
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I will make sure that we share links to all of your things because I want people to connect with you. But is there anything coming up that you know of that you want to share, whether it's like free, paid, anything? Because I know I've talked about money on the podcast before, so I can imagine some people are like, what? Tell me more, Dalene.
Yeah, so I have a workshop. My next one's in April. It's every 2 months for the rest of the year. You can find it at elevatefinances.us/workshop. It's $55. We dive into an evaluation of your foundations, what you need to work on, what's missing, what would give you the most momentum, and if you are thinking about retirement, what that looks like. So,
Oh, that's so great. I love that. Thank you so much for being here, being in the group.
yes.
It was really fun. I don't think you did miss a single call. I think you were at all of them.
Yes, even with life happening, I did not miss a one.
Yeah, you're part of the ride or die crew. I love that.
Yes.
Well, if you're listening and you're wanting to finally do something about your SEO, SEO and Grow kicks off on March 4th. If you're listening to this in real time, the link will be below. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can DM me on Instagram. It's Brittany_Herzberg. And again, just thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. I love getting to introduce more of my, friends and fellow business owners to the world. So I will catch you next time. And remember that I'm always over here cheering you on your SEO journey. You've heard me talk about it, but how exactly does social proof support SEO? Well, your clients are kind of freaking brilliant because when they share what it's like to work with you or what they were able to achieve or accomplish with your help, they use words that other people are searching for. For real, they'll say things like, I walk away with practical tips to apply SEO to my own business, or all online business owners need to know about your SEO course, or Brittany helps me understand SEO in a real and tangible way. You know what's coming next, right? I need your help to get the Basic Bee podcast reaching more of the right ear holes. When you follow, rate, review, and share the show, that helps me help more entrepreneurs discover and lean into the magic of SEO. As a little extra incentive to write a review, once a month, I'll be selecting one podcast reviewer to receive a free mini SEO audit. You'll help me get discovered and I'll do the same for you. Check the description for more info.